Welcome to the Ritual Beast Guide, learning the #1 aspect of Ritual Beast, easy duel quiz that teaches you the deck turn 1 and 2 plays, including myself. You could see from my perspective playing it, not just from a replay on my website or in-game replay, the mindset and easy breakdown of a complicated turn. And then after all of that, there's going to be a bunch of replays that are quickly being played. Some of them I'll be giving you my mindset of going through those plays, beating Blue Eyes, Water Exceed, and also just a bunch of quick replays at the end. So don't be intimidated by the length of this video. Just about a quarter of the video is needed to learn it, and then the rest is if you want to stay tuned to learn more and watch more about the deck. There's a lot to break down here, but you do want to stay tuned for all of it if you can. If not, learn the deck at the beginning, and let's talk about why you should care to play Ritual Beast.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at him. Let's go.
Now, why should you care to play Ritual Beast? It's a budget deck. It's been great for over a year. Opponents have no idea how to play against it, which means they're early surrendering to it. It is really fun to play, but it's difficult to play. Here's an example of the base of the deck, about 11.5k gems. That is on a budget. If you look at the website and look at how expensive other decks are on the gem guide, you'll see that the top tier decks are 26,000 gems, 58,000 gems, 39,000 gems, a lot of gems. Now, this is just the core of the deck, so let me show you what a sample build looks like. Yeah, there's Book of Moon and Cosmic in this. You could use whatever extra Backrow or text that you want, but this is the core of the deck that will last you for years to come. Right now, you're going to learn that free searching is the #1 most important aspect of Ritual Beast and how to do it. So before I get into that, let me tell you what this deck is all about. In addition to this, to get this working, it's all about fusion summoning. Now, to fusion summon, you must banish a beast and a tamer. In a Ritual Beast deck, those are the two types of monsters, a spiritual beast and a beast tamer. You must have a beast and a tamer on the field to banish to perform a fusion summon. You don't use polymerization, you just make it in your main phase. Then, after you fusion summon, you have the quick effect of defusing, returning any of these fusions back to the extra deck to summon a beast and a tamer. Now, all of the non-fusion Ritual Beasts can only be special summoned once. So these are the beasts real quick. We played 3 of the Canahawk, 1 of these. These are the tamers. We only played 3 different ones. Now, Wind is considered the 3rd tamer, but she's also a beast, and we do play 3 of her. Now, back to the free searching. #1 most important aspect. I promise you, if you understand this part, then you will understand Ritual Beast. You don't have to worry about memorizing combos and guides and all of that nonsense. If you understand this, plus do my free duel quiz, I will show you the way. To perform a free search, you must have 2 Ritual Beast monsters, a beast and a beast tamer, that can be special summoned, that will be banished or is already banished. So what does can be special summoned means? Well, earlier I just said they can only be special summoned once. So if you haven't already special summoned them, they could be special summoned. And if they're about to be banished, how you banish them? You would fusion summon or through the other methods I will show you. Now, in addition to having 2 Ritual Beasts plus a Banished Ritual Beast card, that is what you actually need. You need a Banished Ritual Beast card. That's it. So here's an example start. This is the fields. We have 2 Ritual Beasts that are going to be banished, plus we have a Ritual Beast card. This is a free search. Now, a free search is exactly that. We're going to return back to this spot, but have an extra card that's completely free. Because this deck is all about fusion summoning, you want a free search plus a fusion summon. So let's see the execution of this free search. Banishing to fusion summon. Canahawk is how you perform the free search. Now, Canahawk will activate one of its 2 effects. It's going to target a card that you want to special summon and a card that you don't want to special summon, which will be the card that you're going to trade for the free search. So let's do that. We target, and then we're going to chain link to defuse to summon the Ritual Beast you targeted before, plus another Ritual Beast you did not target, as you send the other card to the graveyard just for the effect. Come forth and summon. Now you have a free search. and you're back at square one. You could perform a fusion into anyone. You could search again, but it won't be free. You could fuse into an Ulti, which is 2600, unaffected by card effects while attacking, or the defensive card, Petalfin. Ulti Petalfin cannot be destroyed by card effects, and it is at 2000 defense. And then during your opponent's turn, you could quick play Defuse, not on your turn again because they have already been special summoned. Before I explain to you why that works, let me give you the practice quiz. This is it. If you could do this quiz, you could play Ritual Beast. I promise you, it's going to be linked in the comments or in the description. I'm going to give it to the Twitch chat right now. You have to be able to do this quiz, and it's very easy to do so. You then know how to play Ritual Beast. So the rules with this quiz is you must search 4 cards, only activating the effect of Ulti Hawk. You're not allowed to activate anything else. If you could perform 4 searches properly without activating anything besides the Ulti Hawk, you now know how to play Ritual Beast. So, let's do that. Elder does not activate. It has a continuous effect, allowing an additional summon. We'll additionally summon the Hawk. Now, what do we need for a free search? We need 2 Ritual Beasts that will be banished or are already banished, plus an extra card. Well, I see the return. That's an extra card, and we're about to banish these. So, let's banish it. Let's make an Ulti Hawk. Now, Ulti Hawk is going to activate, targeting a card that we don't want to summon and a card that we do want to summon. Well, let's target the return and the Ulti Hawk. There you go, or the regular Hawk, I should say. Then we're going to chain link 2, Defuse, returning itself back to the extra deck. That's going to summon the Elder, because we chose that, and the Hawk, because we want to do that, and this goes to the graveyard. That's a free search. We're grabbing anything, it does not matter. We're not allowed to activate any other card effects. Now we want to remember that these cards have already been special summoned. Let's banish these. And now we know that we could use one of those to send to the graveyard for a free search. We make an Ulti Hawk. Now if this is confusing, just remember, if you learn how to do just this, forget about everything else about the deck. If you could just do this quiz comfortably, do it over and over. If you could do this quiz, you could play Ritual Beast. I had Gia do it. I tested on her. She could comfortably play the deck after learning this quiz. We're going to activate the Ulti Hawk effect. We're going to target a card we want to special summon and what we don't want to special summon. Well, we can't summon the Elder, can't summon the Hawk. We could summon the Petalfin, Apelio, Winda, and the Laura. So let's target the Petalfin and target the Hawk because we have to target a second card that we don't want to summon. Then we're going to defuse and we're going to summon the Petalfin and we're going to summon a Tamer, a Laura or a Winda. We'll summon the Laura and the Hawk will go to the graveyard, and that's a second search. Doesn't matter what we search because we can't activate any other card effects. Let's do it again. Banish the Petalfin, banish the Laura. Let's make an Ulti Hawk. Ulti Hawk, again, activate, target a card we want to special summon, target a card we don't want to special summon. Let's just target the Laura and the Apelio. So, let's do it. Chain link 2, return back to the extra deck. We're going to summon the Apelio. We're going to summon the Winda, and the Laura is going to go to the graveyard. That's going to be a 3rd free search. We just searched 3 times. Well, let's banish to make Ulti Hawk. Well, we have special summon everything now. We have no more free searches. We do not meet the requirement of a free search, which is 2 Ritual Beasts that can be special summoned, because none could be special summoned. So you know what? The last search is just not going to be free. We're going to activate the Hawk, send 2 cards to the graveyard, and then that's going to be the 4th search. That is how this works. Now I'm going to apply this to a complicated turn. That's basically all this is. If you understand the free search, so I will go back to that on the screen right now. The free search concepts being 2 Ritual Beasts that could be special summoned from the banish pile or that will be banished, plus an extra Ritual Beast, that card that's banished or will be banished. So if you initially have 1 extra Ritual Beast card, when you start searching additionally, the original Ritual Beast that could be special summoned, that could no longer be special summoned, they're going to start becoming that extra RB card. So it's really just the first free search that enables all the other free searches. Then it's all about just pairing up the Winda with another beast, which could be double Winda, the Laura plus another beast, and the Elder plus another beast. So with that mentality, how many free searches can this deck even have? Well, we only have 3 Tamers, so that's 3 free searches. So here we are in a potentially complicated game state where we have so many cards banished. And what you're going to do normally as a Ritual Beast player, you're going to want to defuse during your opponent's end phase, unless your monster is forced to defuse early because they're threatening the removal of your monster. So let's do that. Let's summon these, and then I'm going to walk you through this. So right away, before we even draw, it does not matter. How many free searches? I want you to identify it, like where's Waldo? How many free searches? Remember the quiz? Well, overall, you can only get 3 free searches because we have 3 different Tamers. How many Tamers do we have? We only have Winda and we have the Elder. So what does that mean? Do we have a paired up buddy with the Elder and the Winda? Well, Winda is paired up with Winda if we wanted to, and Elder is paired up with Canahawk, or it could be paired up with the Rapangu. So what does that mean? In this current state, we have 2 free searches. If we have 2 free searches, what happens after your free searches? You end on a fusion, which could be a final search. So we know at minimum, we have 3 searches. But because of Canahawk, we know that we could banish the 3rd Tamer, plus resummon it and banish another Ritual Beast if needed to pair up with the Laura. But based off of this, we only have to banish the Laura. Laura could pair up with Pangu, Winda could pair up with Winda, and Elder is going to pair up with the Hawk. So that means we know that we will have 3 free searches plus a 4th search, or ending on an Apelio or an Ulti Petalfin. So we have 3 free searches, then end on a fusion, which could be a 4th search. So I want you to think, what can we do against this field to deal with this field with 4 free searches? 3 plus a 4th search. Well, let's look at the deck list. One of our best removal is gonna be Petalfin is your #1 removal. So if we know that we could perform 4 searches, well, Petalfin could be search #1, and we have a normal summon. So we could normal summon the Petalfin. Then we have another free search. We could search for a card for Petalfin to banish. Then we could banish the Petalfin, resummon it, and then we could have a 3rd card searched, which could with Petalfin could banish a 2nd card. So that's 3 free searches, which could be Petalfin, fuel for Petalfin, then fuel again for Petalfin after you banish it and resummon it. So that's 3 free searches right there. And usually on your final search, you do want to search for a Ritual Beast Bond. Ritual Beast Bond is a really good follow-up. It allows you to perform a fusion summon within the battle phase. So with 3 free searches, we could do Petalfin, any other card, which the Petalfin will banish both cards, return both back to the hand, and then we could end on a Ritual Beast Bond. But we could also do other plays. So let's see what I potentially do here. So many different plays are good here. Let's go. So just remember, let's do a search. And very good, I didn't draw a Ritual Beast card, so we could use all of our searches, which will only be Ritual Beasts. We banish a Laura. Well, now we officially have 3 free searches plus a final 4th search. Let's do the first free search. And I will show you from my perspective outside of a replay how to perform searches. You're gonna see that after this. I just have to quickly get this to you, okay? So what did we do? We targeted 2 cards, 1 card we don't want to summon, plus a card we want to summon. Summon, search. Now, instead of searching the Petalfin, I chose to mix it up because you have so many different options. When you get to the point where you're not memorizing combos, you can mix things up. We have lethal in so many different ways here. I'm thinking I want to summon Elder for my first search. I could search for a Petalfin for my second search, summon the Petalfin. I could banish with the Petalfin with the 3rd search, and the 4th search, I could search for a Ritual Beast Bond. So let's go it. First for search is the Elder. We have 3 more searches.
Join me. I summon a monster.
Summon. Elder now allows an additional search later in the duel.
Activate my monster's effect.
Let's go to free search number 2. Ready?
Activate my monster.
We targeted a card that we do not want to summon, and what we do want to summon.
Show yourself. Join me.
We search for the Petalfin.
Summon. Here it
We have 2 more searches, 2 more.
Special
A
summon.
third one is free.
I activate
So now we got to use the windows. We already summoned Elder. We already summoned the Laura. Now we got to do the window.
monster's effect. Join me.
Summon the window. Window can pair up with window. Very good. And there you go. That's the 3 free searches. Now we have a 4th search, but we have already special summoned Elder. We have already special summoned Laura. We have already special summoned the window. That's it. You can only get 3 free searches because 3 different tamers. The other searches are going to cost us. They're going to be full send to, not defuse searching. So we did the 3 free searches, and we could do a 4th final search if we want.
Show yourself. Special summon. Join
Looks like I'm going for a 4th search.
I summon
I'm additionally summoning the Petalfin.
activate my monster.
Petalfin banishing.
Activate my monster's effect.
Canahawk doing a non-free search. This is our 4th search.
Come on out.
Come forth, making an Ultipalio. Like I said, I showed you that instead you could have just searched for a Petalfin, then you could have returned a card, banish it, resummon it, banish your 3rd search, and then search for a bond in the end, just to show you have multiple ways to do this. Take it out, Ritual Beast Bond, the Ultipalio's unaffected, go in, swing for lethal. So if you understand the concept of a free search, you could have fun, make up plays, do whatever you want. Just understand when you have a free search. A fusion summon could always end on a final search. Just understand the free searches. You got free searches, search for free. Let me quickly explain the Ulti Hawk and why it performs a free search. So if you don't want to read this part, you could skip ahead. I will show live gameplay of myself. Don't worry, the guide's not over yet. We have Ulti Hawk with 2 effects. Effect 1 is target 2 banish Ritual Beasts and send them to the graveyard to search. Effect 2 is a quick effect. Return itself to the extra to special summon 2 Ritual Beasts. Now, the play is with effect 1, you target a Ritual Beast you want to send to the graveyard that's banished, plus a Ritual Beast that you want to summon. Then you chain effect 2, which is the quick effect to target 2 Ritual Beasts you want to summon, one of them that is being targeted by the effect of effect 1. So the resolution, how it happens is effect 2 resolves, returning the Ulti Hawk back to the extra, which is a cost, and the summoning of 2 Ritual Beasts to your field. Then effect 1 resolves, sending only 1 of your 2 banished targets to the graveyard, but still searches. Why is that though? It says literally, target 2, send them to the graveyard, search. So how come only 1 being sent to the graveyard still results in a search? Because it says send them and not those targets, so it tries to resolve as much as possible, even with only 1 card being sent. Now, when learning decks, it is better to understand the deck than to memorize combos and plays. I know we all get excited for combos and plays, but you do need to understand the deck, and that's what I'm trying to do with this, just have you understand it on a base level, so then you could be interested in learning and memorizing the combo and plays. Mediocre players will just focus on combos they have memorized. This also includes rulings. People that just memorize a ruling interaction and not why that interaction happens, like I taught you with the Ulti Hawk, where it sends them and not those targets, so 1 could go to the grave and you still search. That's understanding why the card works, how it works, so you could apply it on the fly into other cards and any other interaction, all right? With that said, here are some sample plays to memorize, plus try to understand them. So a popular turn 1 play is going to be Elder plus Hawk. Elder allows an additional summon. So you summon the Elder, you additionally summon the Hawk. Oh, but Dkayed, the card is semi-limited. I know it is, but you will still be coming up with this play a lot. Your goal is going to be, you want to end the field with an Ulti Petalfin, plus an Apelio on the field, mostly. And the Apelio will be able to boost up the Ulti Petalfin to 3,300 defense. And the Ulti Petalfin is going to be able to defuse during your opponent's turn to summon double Winda or even a Petalfin in a Winda. It's depending on how you want it. I will show you a play though, all right? You could also end instead of the Ulti Petalfin plus an Apelio, you could end with an Ulti Hawk plus an Apelio with 2 Windas banished that you could defuse into. But in addition to that, because you don't have an Ulti Petalfin, which would be preferred, you now have an extra card in your hand that you searched, which was not a free search, it was your final search. So a great question from the chat before I show you the live gameplay is, what do you do if you don't have that play? Because it's a small chance to even have, right? It's about a 15% chance if you go first. Well, your best play is to then just have a Winda. Set Winda. That's it. If you set Winda, if she gets destroyed, she could summon another Winda. She's gonna float into another Ritual Beast. And then by then, because you opened up with a Winda and it's very difficult for your opponent to deal with, then the next turn you'll have whatever the Winda summoned plus another Ritual Beast. Then you're gonna be popping off. This will be a live turn 1, uninterrupted, recorded gameplay of me going through it. I will explain it as we're going through it. This is what you generally wanna do turn 1. Elder, additional summon. Canahawk, this is the perfect turn 1. We love it. Canahawk is going to banish a card, which will be the extra card. That's going to be the card we send to the grave to perform a free search. We have 2 eligible Ritual Beasts that could be special summoned that are about to be banished. We banished it. Now we're going to target a card we want to summon and a card we don't want to summon. The don't want to summon is going to be the Apelio that we send to the grave for a free search. Now the Ulti Hawk is going to defuse, summoning the 2 Ritual Beasts that we want to summon. With a free search, we're going to grab a return. I want you to ignore the other cards in my hand, okay? Pretend like they're not there. Canahawk is now going to banish a Tamer or a Beast. We're trying to set up the buddy system. Now, when we make an Ulti Hawk, we don't have a free search. Why? Because we don't have 2 eligible Ritual Beasts to summon. So this is going to be a paid-for, all-expense on us search. We have to send 2 to the graveyard. Let's send the 2 ineligible Ritual Beasts to the grave that can't be special summoned. Let's search for another Winda. Well, we're going to banish that Winda now with the Ritual Beast return. So what do we have? We have a situation where we have a Tamer and a Beast that's banished that could be special summoned. We're going to special summon them with the Ulti Hawk in the field. Now, with the return, we're summoning an Apelio from the graveyard. Apelio could then banish a card from the grave. All right? Apelio, banish a card from the graveyard. That is going to be helping with a search. We're going to then, just like that, that's the turn 1. Boom. So that is me quickly explaining as I'm just playing the gameplay, not sped up, not slowed down. That is what your turn 1 will look like, doing it pretty much as fast as you could possibly do it. And what we established here is during our opponent's turn, we could defuse the Ulti Petalfin to summon 2 of our Windas, which if any of them are destroyed, they will summon another Ritual Beast from the deck or from the extra deck. We can also boost up the Ulti Petalfin to 3,300 during our opponent's turn. We can also banish another card from the graveyard during our opponent's turn with the Apelio. This is a really good turn 1 play. Now, mind you, if we didn't have Rapengu in our hand, we could have used the Hawk to banish the Pengu, which would have given us a bit more resources, and I'll quickly show you what that looks like. If you wanted to banish Rapengu instead of Apelio, you can do it. It does come at the cost of having to send an Ultapelio from your extra deck to being banished. So I only really recommend doing the Pengu play that I'm going to tell you a little bit about if you're playing 3 Ultapelios. Some people are playing just 2 Ultapelios. If you're playing 2, I wouldn't recommend this. But if you banish the Pengu, then you get to do the same play, but instead you have an extra monster banished instead of in the graveyard, and it's the same thing. You'll have 1 to 2 Windas banished plus a follow-up. It just gives you a bit extra resources banished. It's really not a big deal. It does thin out your deck a little bit more. Now you want to know what a turn 2 play looks like. Turn 2 is going to require, for example, in this combo, we're going to have an Elder plus a Hawk, and then any Ritual Beast card in the hand, a spell, trap, monster, does not matter. For example, this will be against a Blue Eyes White Dragon and a Sphere Karibo in hand. So let's see if we can bring up that replay real quick. So this is gonna be the replay. I'm also gonna show you with my live gameplay what this looks like making this play. So one of the Hawks is just an extra Ritual Beast card. It does not matter what it is. And then we just have Elder and the Hawk. So let's go to that play. Additional summon. We're going to banish, similar to a turn 1, we're banishing an Apelio. We're going to send the Apelio for the free search. We're going to resummon the Elder and the Hawk. Very good. Grabbing a return. We're going to use that return to summon the Apelio from the graveyard. We're going to banish a Petalfin. Now we need to pair Petalfin up with a Tamer. Well, we just searched for a Winda, which the return could banish the Winda. Now the Petalfin and the Winda are paired up. Let's get summoning. Just like that, banish, return the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Then we're going to fusion summon into an Ulti Hawk, send to the grave, search for a Ritual Beast Bond. We're going to boost up the field with the effect of the Apelio. This is 4,000 damage right here. He's going to Sphere Kribo, stop the Apelio, Ritual Beast Bond, follow up, Ult Apelio. Now, this is a very common play. This is not about opening up with Elder and Hawk. This could pretty much be initiated super consistently. It's more important that you know this than a turn 1 play, because by just setting a window, you are very likely going to be turning into that play. You don't need an Elder plus Hawk. It could be Winda plus Hawk, and then you're good. You set the Winda, they attack into it, you summon another Winda, and then you're basically doing that same play, but you're gonna have to change the Winda you search, the Tamer that you paired up with the Petalfin, with another Tamer. Here is a turn to play that could be replicated if you don't have Elder. You instead set your Winda turn 1, they did something to it, then on the next turn you had a follow-up, okay? This is a very common play. You're gonna have to learn this and memorize this in addition to the free searching duel quiz, and then you are a Ritual Beast master. Now focus on my hand, just the Elder, the Hawk, and an extra Ritual Beast card. I'm going to ignore the Winda, Laura, and the Trap. I'm only going to use one of them for the banishment of a Petalfin. So remember, this combo is just 2 Ritual Beasts. We're using the Elder and the Hawk, plus an extra card for banishment. So this is the gameplay live of doing that combo, which will be lethal through even a Sphere Kribo. Let's go. Elder. Additional summon.
activate my monster's effect.
Banish the Apelio. Grab the Ulti Hawk.
Come on out. I activate my monster.
Send the Apelio for a free search. Summon the 2 eligible Ritual Beast.
I activate my monster's effect.
Free search. Let's search a return. Why not? Very good. Now, let's try to set up a Tamer and a Beast being banished. We banish the Petalfin. Let's try to pair it up with a Tamer.
Come on out. I activate my monster.
So we're not going to get a free search here. We're going to send 2 just to grab an eligible Tamer. There we go. Winda. Winda and Petalfin, they're going to pair up like buddies. Let's get them banished now. So we banish the Winda to summon the Apelio from the grave. Summon the Apelio. Banish to boost up the fields. And what did the banish from the graveyard do? Now that's our free search card. If we were to do a free search here, we're just going to summon off of the paid for full expense Ult Apelio. Banish our 1 card. So the banish card with the Apelio is actually extra. We didn't even need it. It's not for a free search or anything. Just like that, we have, again, another paid search. Send to the grave, search for a bond. Now we have lethal through a Sphere Kribo. Attack, attack. Very good. Let's pretend like he stops this attack. We activate bond. Banish, banish. That's a lot of damage. Lethal through a Sphere Kribo. Boom. So to break down that turn 2 lethal, which is very important because it's usually going to be a turn 3 lethal. If you turn 1 set a Winda, you are going to want to have your Petalfin as your main removal, and then you're going to want an Ulti Hawk plus a Apelio, which itself is over 4,000 damage, and followed up with a bond to have an additional plus 2,600 damage, being 6,800 damage, a lethal through a Sphere Kribo. This right here is why Ritual Beast is a feared deck. This right here, being able to very easily have lethal plus a lethal through a sphere Kribo and removing a card in the field, that's insane. That's why people love and want to play this deck. Now, let's talk about how to play around the opponent's back row. This is how to grind your opponent down. This is through a mix of Petalfin returning their cards back to their hand, Ulti being unaffected by card effects while attacking, and also having the ability to jump off the field if something bad happens. This is through Bond being able to banish 2 of your Ritual Beasts to perform a quick play fusion, or even activating your quick play return to grab just 1 Ritual Beast from your graveyard or banish pile when needed. After understanding the concept of a free search, you have to now understand that you could trade a free search for a free diffuse instead. So this works really well with your Ulti when your opponent has removal and they want to do something to your Ulti on its summon or before you attack with it. Because you had the ability to free search, that means you had 2 Ritual Beasts that you could special summon, and those are going to be the 2 Ritual Beasts that your Ulti would defuse into in response to your opponent's removal. So let's look at a quick example of how grinding out your opponent's back row could work. You're unsure of being able to perform a lethal play, but you still want to make a play and you want your opponent to be wasting cards on your Ritual Beast cards without taking you out. So if you were to summon your Petalfin, possibly you searched it on a previous turn, or you just have it in your hand, you could summon it and your opponent may respond with a Karma Cut, banishing your Petalfin. Now if you have a return, you could then banish your Winda to bring back your Petalfin on the field. Now, what if they don't Karma Cut on the summon of your Petalfin? What should you do with your Petalfin? They have 3 back row cards. Well, generally, it could be a good idea to just deal with their monster instead of banishing a card, targeting the Karma Cut, and then they would just chain it. Take out their Blue Eyes White Dragon. In this situation, we could return it back to the hand, and then we're going to fusion summon into an Ulti. Now, it's important to note that we did have a free search by making an Ulti Hawk instead because we had 2 Ritual Beasts that can be special summoned plus an extra Ritual Beast card, but we instead made an Ulti to deal with the back row. Now, if your opponent plays ideally around the Ulti, they're going to flip up their back row removal in the battle phase before you attack because otherwise you're unaffected on the attack. So this is where they may flip up Karma Cut, but because you traded your free search for the ability to defuse, after he discards and targets, you get to jump off the field. Summoning your Winda, summoning your Petalfin, they do come onto the field in defense. And then maybe they want to flip up another card. This is where you could chain a Ritual Beast Bond going back into your Ulti. So this is just a quick example of using your Petalfin, your return, your bond, your Ulti, and foregoing a free search to help grind out against your opponent's back row. Now, before we get to gameplay, replays of me playing Ritual Beast, here are some general tips and understanding of the deck. How to fuel your banish pile. Well, the fusions, they banish 2 from the field. That fuels your banish pile. The return banishes 1 from the hand. The Canahawk banishes 1 from the deck. The Apelio banishes 1 from the grave. The Petalfin banishes 1 from the hand. And the Pengu banishes 1 from the extra. So when you're thinking of how do I get a Tamer and a Beast banished, or a 3rd card that's going to be used as a free search, these are all the ways to get a Beast and a Tamer banished or a free search. So we already know with the Pengu, if we're banishing from the extra, that's not a Tamer or a Beast. It can only be a card that could be sent to the grave for your free search. Some extra plays to understand is that the Pengu is sending 1 from the deck. That is a good way to get a Beast in the graveyard. And if we look at this, what could banish from the graveyard? The Apelio. So the Pengu sending 1 from the deck can be comboed with the Apelio to banish from the grave what was sent from the deck to the grave with the Pengu. Also, you don't have to just have the Apelio to interact with the card you have in the graveyard. We have Return. Return could special summon from the graveyard or banishment pile. So Return could fuel your banishment pile by banishing a card from your hand and also summon a monster from the graveyard or banished. So here are some general random tips before we get into the gameplay. If you didn't open up an Elder, just a window turn 1 can be very good. Setting that window is going to be so difficult to deal with. It could summon another window, it could summon into anything, and then next turn you're going to just pair up whatever was left of that window to basically have that lethal play where you're messing them up with a pedal fin, going into a lethal through a sphere Kribo. Even if they have back row and they flipping it up, you could generally end on a fusion and they're going to be running out of resources. Turn 1, did you open up a Canahawk and just a return? Well, guess what? You could use the Canahawk to banish a window, then use the return to banish a card from your hand to then special summon that window. And then you can now fusion summon. So that could be a good way for a turn 1 to get fusion summoning. Be mindful of the buddy system. Pair up your banished beasts with tamers. For example, I have a Pengu banished, and I'm about to use my Canahawk effect. Well, let's pair up the Pengu with the tamer. Let's banish something like an Elder to buddy up with the Pengu. Generally, this is going to be a good strategy, a good mindset. Just buddy up the beast and the tamers together. If you're in a really bad position where you are just not able to get a free search, you could fusion summon, but you can't get a free search. Well, a good thing to do possibly is if you still have your normal summon, you could make an Ulti Hawk, send your 2 windows to the graveyard potentially. Maybe you had 2 windows and you can't get an extra card banished. You just make an Ulti Hawk, send the 2 windows, search an Apelio, normal summon the Apelio, banish 1 window, and then during your opponent's turn, you could banish the 2nd window, and then the Ulti Hawk can now defuse and summon those windows. So if you are just really stuck and you can't get an extra card banished through all the methods we mentioned earlier, this could be a really good slow play to do in a slow duel. Please remember, the return is only usable if you have a valid target in your graveyard or banished to summon. Now you may be thinking that's obvious. Of course, I'm only using it if I want to summon something in the graveyard or banished. Well, that's not true. You could use return to banish a monster from your hand, then summon that monster, which is a very popular play to do potentially, and what you would want to do if you opened up an Apelio. You can only banish that card to summon that card if you had another valid card to summon. So it is a good example in the buddy system. Think of window being paired up with a window. So usually you may have an extra card that's not buddied up, like the Pengu. Pengu may not have a buddy to buddy up with, and by being a valid target with your return, now you could use return to banish a card from your hand and summon that card or summon the Pengu to go in for additional lethal plays. If you forgot what you already special summoned, check in game. Click your cards. You have to know this. Hold your graveyard, hold your banish pile with your mouse or your finger, and it will bring up the list, and you tap the cards real quick, and you'll be like, okay, I already summoned a Pelio. You already know that. You'll see it on the screen. Now, if you happen to have a Pengu and an Elder for a turn 2, the banishment and the setup may be a little bit different than a Canahawk. So without going into a full replay of doing it, this is basically what you'll be doing. You'll be using the Pengu to send an Apelio from the deck to the graveyard. You'll also be sending a Petalfin from the deck to the graveyard with the effect of Pengu. So Pengu will be activated, banished, resummon, then activate again. So the Pengu's main goal is to get the Apelio and the Petalfin, and you're searching for a return plus a tamer. You could use the window if you want to, if you are not comboing with window. And then you're using the extra Ritual Beast card in your hand to banish with Petalfin. Then you basically have the same lethal play as described earlier. All right, let's get into some replays, and we could explain the mindset of the replays. Let's try a very difficult matchup like Blue Eyes White Dragon. This is an incredibly difficult matchup because their Synchro counters you. Their Spirit Dragon, you may not even know it has this effect because it's never relevant. It says you can't summon 2 monsters at the same time. Well, what happens when you defuse? You're summoning 2 monsters at the same time. So let's do our play. Looks like we didn't open up optimally. This was in a quick tip. Use Canahawk to banish. Use return to get a fusion going. You generally want to fuse as your main goal. Get a fusion summon. So we're going to banish to summon, And then we're going to use the Laura as a free search dump. So we're going to target the Laura and the Cannahawk, a card we do want to summon and don't want to summon. And then summon the Winda and the Cannahawk. Very good. We got a free search. Search whatever you want here. Grab the return. Grab an Elder. If you didn't have a Laura, Laura could have been a good search. And generally here, you do want to banish a second Winda. Okay? Banish a second Winda so that you could defuse into the second Winda. But what I'm doing here is I am going to get that second Winda because I'm going to use the return again. So I actually went quite spicy with this turn 1. I didn't even remember that I did this. I basically did a full turn 1 play with just a Cannahawk and a return. It did cost me 2 returns, but now I have basically what the goal was, which was to get 2 Windas banished. Very good. Yeah, of course you open your one of Melody of the Awakening Dragon. You could play Beatdown, you could play Tie That Binds. There are many different skills that you could play. You could play Sealed Tombs with Cosmic Cyclone. I like Beatdown because you could make an Ultipalio and swing over a Bouncer. Pretty good. And you're also going to see the use of Beatdown in this game. So they have a Bouncer, you could Elder, summon, make an Ultipalio, Beatdown, and you never even activate an effect and you just swing over a Bouncer. He's going to destroy our monster. We're going to defuse. He's targeting the Ulti Hawk. We're going to summon the double Winda. Now, the Spirit Dragon not only stops a double summon, it also negates your Winda effect in the graveyard. It is such a massive counter to this deck, but this deck is still good. There you go, the card we fear. I chose to Sphere Kribo because I am thinking that my best out to this, which will generally be a Book of Moon if you have it, a Chalice if you have it, Herald of the Abyss if you have it. You could even play Hammer Shot and Fissure people are playing now. You could play any, maybe like an Offerings to the Doom just to get the Spirit off the field. But I'm not depending on a tech here. My tech was pretty much a Sphere Kribo. If the Sphere Kribo were any of those other mentioned cards to deal with the Spirit Dragon, I would have been fine. But I have to deal with the Spirit Dragon without any of those techs, which is nearly impossible. So let's see how I do it. I'm going to banish with the Apelio, boost up the field just to fuel the banish pile. It doesn't really do anything beyond that. And once you threaten the Spirit Dragon, they're going to unsynchro. They're going to tribute to summon another synchro, which makes them untargetable, which counters the deck again. Jeez. Because you're untargetable, your Petalfin's not going to be able to return cards in the field back to the hand. So what's good here is that I drew a Ritual Beast. I'm going to Fusion Summon. Now, I'm panicking. I'm in panic mode. I know his back row is very likely a Karma Cut because that's what I'm expecting. I need him to not activate it at the most opportune moment, which most people will not. They will wait on when to use it. Generally, the best time to use it would probably be within the battle phase before I attack, or right now to stop a fusion, but people don't know how to play against Ritual Beast. Activate Cannahawk, because they know that every time everyone's been burned by a Ritual Beast player. Raise your hand in the chat if you've been burned by a Ritual Beast player, you activate your Karma Cut early, and you looked like a fool. Well, what I needed to do was get 2 Ultipalios out, and then I needed to activate Beatdown. Then I was good. And by the fact that I got that, unfortunately in the replay, you can't click on the cards to see what's not unsummonable. But while you're live game playing, you do want to check what is summonable. So now he's Karma Cutting, but I already got the Beatdown.
You won't escape from me.
You may be thinking, why do I need Beatdown? Well, the Ulti Hawk is going to lose the attack boost from the Apelio. I had nothing to defuse into. I swing in, 3,200. Now, he should have summoned an Azure Eyes, possibly, but it wouldn't even matter because I would take out the Azure Eyes. I was 3,200 attack. So the fact that I got 2 Azure of the Ultipalios out for the beatdown boost, that's it. I have an out to the Spirit Dragon, and that may be why you want to use beatdown yourself. Let's get through the rest of this duel now. That was the hardest part. Getting through that was ridiculous.
The souls of my dragons guide a new one to me. Come on out. Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon.
Reveal Blue Eyes, summon the Alternative White Dragon, activate to destroy the Ultipalio. Well, we know that Ritual Beasts are so slippery, they hopping all over the place. We're going to jump off the fields. Summon 2 of our Windas. Jumping off the field for 2 Windas is generally just the best play.
Special summon. Here it comes.
Here it comes. We coming.
I said special summon.
Now he's making a Twin Burst Dragon, which will not banish the Windas. He will be able to double attack, though.
Blue Eyes.
Takes out the first Winda. Winda activates. Summon a Ulti Petalfin. Now, I have eligible monsters to summon, and I know he has a second attack, so this was a good summon.
Blue Eyes Twin Burst.
Winda can't summon another Winda if you special summon Winda that turn.
You have to try harder than that.
We're going to defuse,
Activate my monster's effect.
summoning an Elder and an Apelio.
Join me.
Apelio is going to banish to fuel. Swinging into the Winda here, not a good idea from him. No good.
Activate my monster.
I don't condone this.
Come on out.
Now he's in so much trouble.
Make your my turn.
How many free searches I have? Well, let's look at all of the Tamers. I have all of them. I have Tamer 1, Winda. Tamer 2, Elder. Tamer 3, Laura. Laura could pair up with the Hawk. The Winda could pair up with the Apelio. And the Elder could pair up with the Petalfin. That's 3 free searches plus a 4th search. So think of any 3 to 4 cards you want, and you are just going to plow right through them. Let's go.
I activate my
I didn't grab a Ritual Beast off the top of my deck. That would have been ideal. He's going to Raigeki Break. He wants to deal with my Petalfin, and I already banished with my Apelio. So how am I going to get my Petalfin back? Well, I know that I still have my 3 to 4 searches. Well, I could use Apelio just to resummon to banish the Petalfin. I could use my Ritual Beast Return, which will be Return plus a Ritual Beast to banish. That's 2 of my 3 free searches. So let's get that 3 to 4 searches. Be creative, whatever you want. He is absolutely going to be decimated here. There's so many different ways to win here. Just know that you have 3 free searches because you did the duel quiz to learn this, plus the 4th search. Let's go.
I activate my monster's effect.
So let's speed through this a little bit. That's free search number 1. We have 2 more free searches. Let's go. We're going to banish the Petalfin. We're going for free search number 2.
I activate my monster's effect.
Petalfin's back. Let's go.
Come on.
That's free search number 2. We have another free search.
Special summon.
The free search is before I even go off and make big plays.
Monster's effect.
I'm going to banish the Pengu.
Yourself. I summon a monster.
Hey, I have my normal summon still.
I activate my monster's effect.
Let's get another search. And then he scoops. We had 3 to 4 searches there. 3 free searches. And a 4th final search if we wanted. Just like that, GG no re. Now, Ambush is not a core card.
Here I
All right? Play Ambush if you want. It will summon a Banished or Engrave Ritual Beast, 2 of them.
draw. From my hand, I activate.
Orchestrated Return, draw 2.
All right. I summon a
This Judge, that's annoying. She negates.
My monster attacks.
But she shouldn't negate because he's not playing Master of Destiny.
End my turn. Here I go.
What are we going to do here?
I activate my monster.
I'm going to activate my Petalfin. Now, why didn't I banish my Tamer? Because the buddy system. What the heck? Why would I banish my buddy? Pengu's not my buddy. Get out of here, Pengu. Buddy system. buddy up the Pangu with the pedal fin with the tamer, beast and a tamer. 2 beasts don't go together, banish it. Now, we somehow got negated. This is a 25% chance to negate. Thanks a lot, Konami. Now, if you noticed, I set the Laura. If you set the Laura and they don't have a toggle on, they can't flip up a Karma Cut, they can't flip up anything unless they have their toggle on. So it's a good way. You could fuse while face down. If you ever Book-a-Mooned or Floodgated a Ritual Beast player, then they still fusion summoned and you got pissed, it still happens.
I activate my monsters effect.
Here is the Ulti Hawk.
I activate my monsters effect.
Do we have a free search? Yes or no? Is this a free search? Or are we paying full price for the search? Paying full price for a search means you're sending two to the grave. A free search is just sending 1. Well, I have 2 eligible monsters to summon, plus an extra card. It's a completely free search. What do I want with the free search? Probably something to banish with Pedalfin. It's free.
Come on out. Show your
So before I'm even making my final fusion, I'm getting a free search out of the way.
monsters effect.
Now, what's funny here is I'm being extra spicy. I am not summoning the Pedalfin because I'm going to instead make a play where I know the Backrow is generally chainable. You don't always want to go for the Pedalfin. See, I even psyched myself out here. I'm going for a play where I'm possibly going to send an Apelio to the graveyard, so it's a good grind game play. If you want to grind your opponent when they have multiple Backrow and you're not using Pedalfin to deal with big threats, generally it's good for going into Apelio instead. So what I would do here, I would send an Apelio from the deck to the graveyard. We would possibly make an Ulti Hawk, search for a return, banish the Winda, summon the Apelio, banish the Pedalfin, because look at this. He has the Raigeki Break. Otherwise, if I summoned the Pedalfin, he maybe would have chained the Raigeki Break to me banishing a card from my hand with the Pedalfin when I could have an extra monster on the field. So do think about grinding your opponent down with Apelio plays if you could do it. If he had an immediate threat on the field to deal with, I would have summoned the Pedalfin instead. He chained it. Oh my, he chained it to the Pangu effect. Not even before I activated, so I did get the Apelio in the grave.
My monsters effect.
Desperado, search.
I end my turn.
All right, now I get to keep the card in my hand because he Raigeki'd the Pangu. Otherwise, he would have Raigeki'd my Pedalfin, so I got to save a card.
Let's do this. I exceed summon a monster.
Let's get exceeded. Malevolent Sin.
My monsters
Banish, not really a good play from him,
monsters effect.
but it actually is.
Let's do
This is lethal. I want to steal this guy's deck. What the heck? I got Sphere Kribo.
luck. Don't fail me now.
I'm going to flip up the ambush, summon 2 monsters that could not be destroyed. Now, the Laura would have came back anyway, but she can't be destroyed by battle by a 1700.
I draw. I activate my monster
Now,
effect.
look at this. We know we have a free search, which means we have 2 searches, okay? So we have a free search plus a real search. And we have even more. Since we have a Winda and a Canahawk, we know we have now 2 free searches plus a final search. So we know that we're going to be able to Pedalfin twice, get 3 searches total at minimum, and we're going to have an open field, and we could even end with a bond. So let's get going. Let's start banishing.
I activate
Ulti
my
Hawk.
monsters effect. I activate my monster
We got a free search. It's free. It is free.
Shoot. Come on out.
Grabbing an Elder, I could summon the Elder.
Activate my monsters effect.
We banish the Winda,
Come on out.
summon this.
Shoot.
We have another free search.
My monsters effect. I
It is free.
activate my monsters effect.
It is super free.
Come on out. Join me.
Come on out.
Special summon. I activate
Searching for that free window. We have an additional summon, so the Elder effect. And there you go. 3 free searches because we got all the 3 tamers involved. And we continue to have even more searches, but they scoop up before you get to finish. That's the problem with this deck. Now, I'm not going to bore any of you any longer with this. I don't know which replay it was, But one of these replays, it was just a Keck W where they surrendered before I was making my first turn play. Let's see if I can quickly find it. If not, then there you go. Oh, hey, this is a pretty good duel. We'll just speed up through this. We are searching. He's searching. Doo-doo drawing. Zubaba coding. All right, what the heck? How do we beat this? This seems impossible. I'm gonna be watching them on full speed though. All right, we got the additional summon. Beat down, just like that. Nothing to negate for the bouncer. Eternated. He Gaga bolted, I'm jumping off. We popping off, we out of here. Now, the roach actually stops us from... yeah, there you go, early surrender. Not the early surrender I was talking about. But just like that, we end on the pedal fin, which he's not big enough to take out, and he loses. The roach is a good counter to this deck because your fusion summon will be negated. Now, this is a different player, believe it or not. There are onomats everywhere, and I do have a different hand. All the automat players, they are insane. They are making a turn 1 Bowser plus a rank 4 every single duel. This is normal? What the heck? Dweller early, additional summon the pedal fin. We're gonna banish fuel, he negates. Now he only has 1 negate per turn. Now we're gonna make our plays. Double pedal fin banish. Very good. Return the bouncer. Now, generally, if you have limited returns, I usually like to deal with the monsters and just say, you know what? If your back row is activatable, go ahead. Activate it on my Ritual Beast. We banish the Apelio to summon the Apelio. Can Hawk banish. Making an Ulti Hawk. We're going to the grind game. We got the Bond. Lance. Now, this is where we got completely messed up. I can't even believe this. The Lance is usable in the damage step. The Bond is not. Generally, if that back row was anything good that could have been activated, we could have chained the Bond to Fusion Summon. So we're actually in a what the heck position right there after that happened. But then, GG no re, we win. Beat down, doesn't matter. We don't have to do any free searches. Bond, follow up, or return, then bond. We have 1,000,000 damage. Unlimited damage. Let's go. This we're doing the turn 1 play with Pengu. Very good. Now we already have a return and a window in the hand, which are cards that we would be searching. So I'm gonna grab an ambush. I have even more extra free searches. That is what I'm talking about. That right there is why you play Ritual Beast. He surrendered on my first freaking turn. And you see how fast I do the play. I'm not stalling. I'm plowing through that play as fast as I can. No hesitation. And this guy still surrendered. Yeah, I do like playing Plasma. Plasma's good with Bring It. Raigeki Break popping, but I still get the additional summon. Boom, swing in with a Pedal Fin just to check for a Sphere Kribo. Now, this guy's a fool for not making a Blue-Eye Spirit Dragon, but that's okay. We're gonna grind through this. Send summon. We got free searches. Let's get free searching. Grab a return. How are we gonna deal with all of these freaking monsters? I think I may even lose this. Why am I showing a losing replay? I think I was analyzing this afterward. Did I even win this? I don't even know. How am I getting out of this? So I'm gonna start returning. I have a lot to grind through. Get to that fool. Take him out. Ultimate Dragons. Oh my Jesus, this is an insane duel. All right. Polymerization, he's got double attack. And he would banish the Ultipelio, so we do not want to keep the first Ultipelio on the field. We want to defuse for double window. Return. Have another free search. Return, he chains, summon a Blue Eyes. This is just impossible. We can't use Pendleton again. So I'm already setting up for the next turn. Just get my free searches out of the way. Just thinning out the deck. Looks like, oh, wait, we actually win. Malevolent Sin. Okay. So when you're out of Pedalfins, make a Malevolent Sin. Well, okay. Holy guard. Holy guard. Oh no, Amazons are here. Good thing they are not top tier. Get that Backrow card out of here. What the? You've got to be kidding me. Get that out of here too. All right. I knew the Tiger would be resummonable. I wanted to get some damage in. Swung in to summon his queen. We're going to start returning the back row. And he's done. He's freaking done. As soon as I sniped his onslaught, I would have continued to keep sniping. He was done. He knows that his monster is indestructible by battle, and it's an attack position. Because I dealt damage earlier, he's in a vulnerable position where all I have to do is attack over the princess, and I win because the queen's protecting it from destruction. So damage over it. You can just summon a bunch of Ultipelios and you're unaffected and you're just swinging in.